actually record this as well for posterity's sake. Louder.
So, if you're not familiar, Cuties is a film that Netflix just bought from director Maimouna
Oh,
Ducouré. She's a French woman, and
you were kidding.
she
Thank
made
you.
this film that has sparked some controversy. Maybe
Yeah,
not so
some.
much the film itself, but a poster that Netflix made to
No,
promote
definitely
it.
the
As
film
you can see, it's a
itself.
bunch of 11-year-old
Definitely the
girls
film.
dancing provocatively.
Thank
Now,
you.
people said that this was Netflix sexualizing children. Other people have said that the film itself is sexualizing children. That's basically akin to child pornography.
I
And
mean,
that it's, the pedophile left normalizing pedophilia as a legitimate sexual orientation. Hollywood, Pizzagate. I don't know how far down the rabbit hole you.
I will say I don't believe it to be trying to normalize pedophilia as a sexuality. I don't believe that to be true. But yeah, the left is glorifying pedophilia as a sexuality. Well, I mean, it's not. The thing is, that's that's this binary thinking. That's this binary thinking of there is only the right and only the left and nothing in between and nothing outside of it, which obviously is bullshit. No one likes maps but maps. No, that's the problem. There are people that want to support maps. The typical American mentality. Exactly. Yeah. Well, let me actually. I guess I have to change the stream title as well now. Just 1 second. Fab is old and doesn't like new things. I don't think that's a good title for this. Watching bad Cuties review. And then I'll put it into entertainment. It's comedy, that would mean I would have to be funny. But anyway, yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the left trying to normalize pedophilia. There are absolutely people who think, and it's not just maps, but it is also mostly maps, who are like trying to act like this is an actual sexuality, which obviously it isn't. But let's keep watching.
You want to go, and then other people are more just kind of more, I
Are
think,
there?
in my
No.
opinion, sanely saying it's exploitative. It's exploiting children. Even if you're making a movie that's about the exploitation of children, you could do it in a way that does not exploit children.
I mean, yeah.
When you made it. So that's just a little background. That's why I ended up watching this movie.
I mean, that's true.
Now, it's a solid film. It's a good movie.
No.
Definitely better.
Factually wrong. That's not even an opinion. It is a bad movie. But
Than most
let's
movies.
keep seeing.
And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the movie itself. But right off the bat, just first impressions regarding the controversy. This film does try to make you sexually aroused by 11-year-olds. It's and
I don't think that's something that should happen.
I'll say it's not bad at it. It's not a total.
What? Excuse me, what? That's a statement. That's a hot take. All right, fine. Let's see where this is going. I want
failure in that regard, at least for me. Your mileage may vary. I want to say that if you are concerned about people treating this as child pornography, there are probably thousands of people masturbating to this film as we speak.
Probably.
As far it's basically, and I'll put some shots, and I'll probably include footage throughout the whole review. But yeah, as far as like sexy music videos go, it's not bad.
What? This is
Are we
satire,
live?
right?
Is this live? Oh, trigger warning. Honesty. So, is that part of an attempt by the filmmaker to provoke? I'll say this. I don't get the sense that the woman who made this film is. I think she just doesn't pull her punches. I don't think she's trying to titillate simply for the purpose of titillation. If she were, she probably would just cast adults. Make her life a lot easier.
I don't feel good about these clips.
The film is kind of roping you into the discussion of the sexualization of children by sexualizing children and by making you complicit in that, because the camera forces you to ogle the morality of that. And so let's put the morality of...
Okay, that's a lot to unpack. Very much to unpack. First of all, the movie tries to get you to feel aroused by 11-year-olds, and it's not bad at it. I don't think that's my dude. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. I would say you should probably see a mental institution. I can't even speak. I'm fucking baffled. But then again, it does say an uncomfortably honest review. So let's keep going.
That aside, and just take her art at face value.
It's not art, though.
It's pretty interesting to be forced to do something. It's kind of like The Last of Us 2. It's a great game.
Dude, come on. This can't be. This cannot. This has to be satire. This has to be satire. This is ticking too many boxes. Is this real? Oh, dear God.
Be forced to do something that you're uncomfortable with.
You're not forced, though. You can turn the movie off.
Grapple with what role you're playing in the creation of the culture that these girls are participating in, and it's
you can turn the movie off. You also, you don't choose to look at you can choose whether or not to look at the 11-year-olds or not. That you can very much choose. That, oh my God, you just have to look at the like-dislike ratio. Right? Dislike, like, and I'm pretty sure, definitely subscribing to this man. Look at that. Why the fuck does this dude get 2,000 subscribers? Or 2,600? And I have like 70. You have to talk about fucking kids as well.
Real. It's very realistic. I don't know if you've ever heard of the app TikTok. There's some pretty interesting stuff on there that I've checked out.
Oh, I bet you have.
I recommend you check it out.
No, thank you.
Of all ages are dancing and guys are dancing like this. Dances have become more explicitly sexual. But then, I listen.
Yeah, maybe that's exactly the problem. Maybe we should, maybe rather than, trying to make these movies that show kids doing this, maybe we should work on like the fact that kids are seeing this and copying this, Maybe that's what we should work on instead of, showing 11-year-olds twerking. I like genuinely, I can't believe that this shit is real. Like this is what somebody would make if they were trying to like make a parody of a like very left-leaning critic or something. This doesn't feel real. This feels like a skit almost.
Listen to everybody saying these things, and I think we just sound the same as like old fogies did in the 50s and 60s. So it's interesting
let me hold on.
So
let's
sexual like, and guys are dancing like this. Girls of all ages are dancing like, and guys are dancing like this. Dances have become more explicitly sexual. But then, I listen to everybody saying these things, and I think we just sound the same as like old fogies did in the 50s and 60s. So
yeah, because rock and roll and twerking are, the twist. The moonwalk and twerking are interchangeable. Clearly, we can just they're the same. The playing field. The playing field isn't even the same. This is a different sport we're talking about. Yeah. The fucking Footloose in Greece. Ooh, man. Those. The devil's gotten to me through this dance, as the Jackson 5 put it so eloquently. Okay, wow. I'm baffled. I'm still not quite believing that this is real, but
it's interesting to be kind of held accountable by the film, or maybe just informed. I don't know. Only indication.
Excuse me, if you can't, I know I'm pausing a lot, but if you can't see the line between being held accountable for watching the movie and feeling something going on in the lower rows, and just being informed, there might be something wrong. Not necessarily with the movie, although there's plenty wrong with the movie, but maybe with you. And this is why I can't believe this shit is real. Because it's just there's too many things that seem like a caricature, but then this guy is real. And the more I look at it, the like-dislike ratio, the view count, man.
So there's a scene where they're dancing on stage, and there are these judges that are like frowning, and just people in the audience that are frowning. That's the only indication the film gives that this is odd, or that they are overly sexualized, and it holds it back. And spoilers! I'm going to spoil the whole movie, by the way. So if you want to watch the movie, just watch the movie.
I thought he was going to show the scene.
You should watch it. It's good.
No.
She holds back the audience reaction until the very end, and you see a lot of people going, oh, this is no good. This is making me uncomfortable. As these girls are doing increasingly provocative and increasingly sexual dance moves, almost to the point where it starts to feel surreal when they're like wiping their hands on their crotches. I think from the back, if memory serves. I'll have to watch it again.
Incredibly important.
So as a discussion piece, it's pretty interesting. I think that it does give you a lot to...
Yeah, they do that. They do, they run their hands along their bodies. It's very, very uncomfortable. And just not something you want to see a child do. Ever. I also love that he just has to put, the emphasis on these scenes every time he shows them. I have my finger on the minus button, so I can like instantly just tap the key to hide the video. Man, I traded Spyro for this. This is a sin beyond all humankind.
Talk about and a lot to think about, and it doesn't exactly tell you where to land on how appropriate this dancing is.
It's not appropriate though.
How do we? Children are horny. Little girls are horny, and they want to express that.
Okay. That is not a valid statement, even if you're trying to talk puberty. Most 11-year-olds, and I can say this because I was an 11-year-old boy, mind you, do not have those feelings. That comes like a couple years later is when that starts happening. And to come out and just say this is baffling to me. Baffling. We're 6 minutes in, and I'm and again, this is the kind of person that will defend this movie, and will come out and say that this is, this is a great movie. This is a masterpiece. Remember this face. This is the face that defends this movie. All right. No. Please continue.
And we aren't sure how to handle that kind of graceless transition from being 9 to being 13 or 14 or.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. That shit starts at 13 and 14, usually, not at 11. And it doesn't really start with girls just shaking their ass for the camera and for the internet. That's not really how that goes. Or rather, that's not how it should go. I'm sure listen, I'm not saying that children being sexualized or young people in general being sexualized for the media. And when I say young, I mean underaged. Sorry. I should be more specific. This is you really can't mince your words with this kind of thematic, but I'm not saying that, underage people aren't being sexualized, because that's happening, of course. Or, of course, rather in a more negative light. But the transition from being a child to being a teen is more gradual than depicted in this movie. And it's certainly not to this extent. And I know you can and what I said, you can argue with, but it's happening somewhere in the world. Well, anything is happening somewhere in the world. That doesn't make it normal. That doesn't make it standard. And to try and defend that, and to try and defend a movie that is claiming to criticize that, but is at the same time somehow defending that, it doesn't. You can't. No. Please, dear God, I want Spyro back.
16, and this film is all about zooming in on that and kind of asking us all what we are doing to participate in this,
the
encourage it,
girl hatter
discourage it.
period.
It's all shown. So there are characters who ignore her sexuality, like her father. There's a scene where she tries to strip for her father to get him to give her his phone. She steals his phone and she's trying to get him to let her keep it. She starts taking her pants off, and he ignores it and is like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She responds by taking a picture of her vagina. She responds by taking a picture of her vagina and posting it on Instagram.
No, this isn't the film.
We have characters basically.
This isn't the film. This is it's the period is like it's just her standing in front of her. That's what the laughing was. Her standing in front of her aunt, and like she's laughing at her because she has like a big like blood stain on her crotch. And of course, you know, we have to zoom in on this. This is interesting. And then what Floof said, it's not her father, it's her cousin, I think, or it's her father's cousin, something like that. I don't remember exactly. I was a bit zoned out at this point. But yeah, this absolutely happens in the movie. Thank you, by the way, still for bringing in these scenes.
Shunning her. Her great aunt and her mother basically do like this exorcism thing where they're trying to like.
Okay, no, this is fine.
Out of her. Even the girls themselves freak out about their own sexuality in a way where one of the girls finds a condom and is pretending. She thinks it's a balloon. She blows it up and is pretending it's her breast. And then the other girls realize that she's playing with a condom and they say, "It's gonna give you AIDS, you're gonna die." And then they start scrubbing her tongue with soap, and it's like it's just a great metaphor for the way.
It's a great metaphor. Hold on, let me hear him finish this point.
Kids want to be sexual and are all about it.
What? How is that? Hold on, is there more to this?
And then
I'm not showing anything of this movie, by the way.
The like real nitty-gritty of sex, the scary parts, are like way too overwhelming and terrifying. And
so his point is that it's a metaphor for how children, because that's what they are, want to have sex, but when they get down to it, it's too gross for them. Yeah. Maybe that's why you have to wait to be 18. Maybe that's why, puberty is a thing. Why, we have to actually mature to a certain age to understand that these feelings, while sometimes maybe, a bit out of the ordinary and maybe disgusting to some, are normal. This happens when we are usually around at the age of 13, 14, 15, 16 are usually very late bloomers. And some people just never get there at all. Which is fine too, if that's how you're wired like that. That's, But that's not normal for 11-year-olds, and is kind of also the reason why I really don't see why this movie had to specifically be about 11-year-olds. Because, again, you could have done the same thing with older actresses, with actresses that are actually, of age. And you could have still, you could have said they were 16. And that would have been believable. It would have worked. Plot-wise. Because it would have been much more believable about the whole fact that this is happening to you. You are getting these feelings. This is natural. And also would have not it would have still had creepy undertones, don't get me wrong. The whole concept of the movie, while perhaps, interesting and like I said, when I first heard about it, I thought, it was a good idea to show that, yes, this is happening in the world, the sexualization of young, very young, underage people even. And we want to show you this, and we want to show that this is terrible. That's kind of not what the movie's doing, though, at all. And that's exactly what I think is the problem with the way they made the movie, especially due to the fact that they made it with kids. Because, again, it just feels like you're watching, like, softcore child porn. And I don't think that's... I might be wrong here, but I don't think that's right.
It's like a playing with fire thing. So it kind of gives you this jumbled portrait of all the different ways that we respond to the sexuality of young girls. And it juxtaposes these amazing scenes where it's like you'll see the girls playing on a bed where they're stuffing gummy bears in their mouths and they're just totally children. And then you'll see them shaking their booties on this stairway as they make this...
That's really important to show that.
Video. And they're pretty hot.
No, come on. No, this isn't real. This is satire. Come on. This is not real. Nah, I can't believe that this is real. I really, really can't. You can't come out and say shit like that and show your face. But again, it's like there's so many mixed signs because the view count isn't high enough for it to be like... for clickbait. And then, even if you're doing this for satire, you have to somehow show that this is satire. Otherwise, people will just accuse you of shit. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like the view count, the sub count.
You can say whatever you want about me. It's not my fault. I didn't make them do that. They did that. That's the point.
It's the kid's fault that I'm hard for him. Isn't that like saying, a girl was asking for it because she was dressed a certain way? Or behaving a certain way? Aren't we? Isn't this... and they're kind of going against what you soy boys believe in? I guess it's fine when they're doing it.
That's the whole point of the movie, is that you're supposed to be sitting there thinking, look at the blonde one. You're supposed to be sitting there holding these two thoughts in your head, and one, that these are kids, and the other, that they're hot.
No.
And,
no.
I don't even know if you're supposed to be comfortable with that. It's more like you're just supposed to be in...
What do you mean you don't know if you're supposed to be comfortable? What the fuck? What do you mean? This I can't believe... I want to believe it's fake. I want to believe it's fake, but they're... I don't know. There's just something. There's just something. I hope we get a revelation at some point that this is satire.
informed that you are capable of that and that you feel that way. And I already knew that, but I think it's a good thing to put that out there. Artistically, I think it's a good thing.
And fucking nice save.
Now, is it exploitative? Yes.
Well, we can agree on that,
These,
at the very
these
least.
kids are 11, so they don't really understand what they're doing.
You think?
I made a porn last year, and I feel like I didn't understand. I feel like nobody should it be illegal? No, definitely not. It's not porn.
I mean, it's fucking close enough.
Should parents allow their children to be in films like this? I don't know. I kept thinking about if I had a daughter, whether I would let her be in this movie. And either way, your daughter's going to hate you, right? Later, she's going to hate you. So she'll hate you.
Well, I mean, if you're a fucking greasy bug man, yeah, I wouldn't. I could be your son and I'd hate you. That doesn't really. Gender doesn't really limit that.
You for squandering her career by not letting her be in this really good movie. It's well written.
It isn't. It literally isn't. This movie is just all over the place. That's why a lot of people. I know that is the reason why a lot of people are pissed off and saying that this is just a softcore porn, because the movie has no connection between these scenes. The connection between these scenes does not exist. It's just scene after scene after scene of these girls doing all kinds of crazy and disgusting shit. Sorry, I think I might barf from this. And there is no there is no thread connecting these scenes. It's like if you watched a compilation of people getting their heads blown off by shotguns, and you try to argue the fact that, hey, this is a movie against gun violence, when it's just a movie about dudes or even chicks, who fucking cares, getting their brains blown out. Just because a movie shows these scenes and then pretends like, oh, hey, look, we're showing you that this is bad, doesn't mean that that's, other people in the Discord are doing Phoenix Wright roleplay, and then Key comes in as Nagito Komaeda.
And
all right,
really well acted.
Key is a mood. Yeah.
I assume career launching for most of the girls in it.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
Or she's gonna hate you for...
Or she's gonna hate you for being a bug-eyed freak, man. That's horrible.
For exploiting her, because like child actors, most of their parents are pushing them to do it. So I don't know. Like, if you have a daughter who's 11 and likes doing sexy TikTok dances where
beat her within an inch of her life, and then tell her that what she's doing is wrong.
She's shaking her ass all the time, and then some well-meaning and I assume not creepy filmmaker comes along and they're like, I'd like to...
Buddy, it's Hollywood. There are no non-creepy filmmakers. You met Dan Schneider. He doesn't even make films. He makes TV shows.
Pay your daughter to shake her ass.
Oh yeah, that's what I want. Make her a glorified stripper. Yes, that very good career choice. My daughter of 17 years, please do that. Very proud of you. I did, I can see now why God chooses to stay away from us.
Yes, I would say yes, but I would say it with the knowledge that she's going to be really pissed off about it later,
mm-hmm.
and that we'd probably have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
You
like
would not be comfortable, yes.
if you're actually the father or not.
So the movie
She's
itself,
like
what's
half
the movie
black or
actually
something.
about? Well, this poster is very misleading because there's not that much dancing in it, actually.
Oh no, just disregard the like 8 different scenes that I showed you about the girls dancing. Fuck.
The movie is about a 11-year-old Muslim girl whose father has just met and gotten engaged to a second wife, and her mother is crushed by this. And it's really a scathing critique of Islam for about the first half, and the role that women are forced to play in Muslim families.
I don't know if you could say the first half. They're like, it's like more like the first like quarter, if even that.
In societies. So this girl, seeing that her mother doesn't even really buy into the idea of her father having a second wife, and seeing the heartbreak and on a basic total second class citizen stature of women in Muslim societies.
Isn't this movie supposed to play in France? France isn't a Muslim society. Not yet, anyway. Although you could be, you would not be criticized for mistaking it.
Is horrified, but she's in Paris, so she sees her neighbor is doing sexy dances.
Nope.
In the laundry room.
We don't see that.
She starts getting involved with this neighbor girl and their group, and flips out way in the opposite direction. And for the rest of the movie, she's basically going back and forth, witnessing the atrocities in both styles of life.
Yeah, but it's not portrayed like that, though. That's kind of the issue here. Like, this is another thing that where it really makes you believe that this is just a movie where you watch, 11-year-olds shake their ass, because there's never any like negative feedback, and even the few and far moments in between where there is negative feedback to it it's too scarce to actually make like a significant point. I don't know if you guys know the movie Little Miss Sunshine. There is a scene where she's like at this like beauty pageant or whatever for kids, and she starts, because they have to dance, and then she learned like this dance from her grandfather, who was kind of a sleazy fuck, and she essentially starts sort of a striptease, but it shows you what's happening for a second, and then immediately cuts to the people watching, and instantly everyone is disgusted. Everyone knows that this is inappropriate, and then it cuts back like for just a few more seconds to what's happening with the girl, and then it cuts back to the audience. And what works with that is that it's showing the outrageous thing, but it's not lingering. It's showing it, and the movie is saying, okay, here it is, and then now we cut to the reaction of that any sensible person would have. And Cuties does not do that, and that is a massive issue with the movie in general. There is within the movie, there is very, very little negative feedback of people sensibly saying something like, yo, this isn't right. There are scenes like that, absolutely, but not enough. And that's the issue. And that's a massive point to me anyway as well, why this movie isn't criticizing or isn't doing what it's saying it's doing, which is, criticizing the sexualization of children. It's not happening, sadly.
If the movie has a point, I think it's just that you can leave your cult without joining another. So at the end of the movie,
But it's not that easy in real life, though. That's kind of the issue there.
Family's trying to pressure her to go to this wedding, and her dance friends are pressuring her to perform at this event. And midway through the event, she has this breakdown and leaves and rushes home.
And again, that scene happens. There is no like connection to why she's having this breakdown. She's just having it. There is no like build up or realization throughout the entire movie that can culminate in this moment of her breaking down and then running away. Like there is it's not conveyed that there is something overwhelming happening to her, that it's like she finally realizes, hey, this shit ain't right. We shouldn't be doing this. There's nothing like that. You just see her breaking down and crying and then running away. And then like the one of the final shots or one of the later shots is on the bed. You see her dance clothes and then the dress that they picked out for her to go to the wedding in. And it's supposed to show like now she has to make a choice. Does she want to keep on dancing or does she want to like embrace her family life? The thing is, with that scene happening after the dance competition, you kind of throw out the whole idea anyway. Of like you throw out the whole illusion of a choice anyway, because we already know she went there and then she, I don't want to say pussied out, but that's kind of what happens, and ran home. So there's not really a choice to make at this point anymore.
And her family berates her, or her great aunt berates her, and her mother's kind of stepping in the way and defending her, and
yeah, that happens as well.
Telling her to get ready to go to her father's wedding, and there's this like horrible, terrifying shot of her seeing her father's new wife, which really freaked me out, and I'm sure has something to do with both of my parents remarrying and me being.
Listen, man, we don't care.
Horrified by that. But at the very end, you can tell her mother is thinking of ditching the whole wedding ceremony too and leaving her husband. But she's too entrenched. And you see this like very sad and touching scene where she basically tells her daughter, you don't have to go to the wedding. I'm not going to force you to do this, but I'm going. Basically saying you can escape, but it's too late for me. And
I mean, not necessarily. She doesn't have to go to the wedding. And she could have just chosen not to go, but the thing is, that's not even really what the movie is about anyway. That's just tacked on there for like drama, because they realize that, hey, all we have is like an hour footage of 11-year-olds shaking their ass. We're gonna need to try and come up with some plot here.
And Amy doesn't go, and she changes her clothes. She doesn't wear the traditional outfit, the wedding dress that she's been dreading wearing, which one scene she sees bleeding in her closet. There's some like weird surreal stuff, but only very little. Which kind
that also doesn't make any sense.
And she doesn't wear her slutty like dancer getup that she was wearing before, and she just wears like clothes that feel like it's her, that she is just gonna be herself now. Which at age 11, shit, good for you.
Yeah, sure.
So the movie, I think, has a pretty positive message, and it's
yeah, that's the thing though. It's
nice to see it come together.
That's the problem as well. It ends on too much of a high note to actually make any like poignant statement about what is happening. Because at the end, she just ends up like she's out on the road, like you said, she's not wearing it's not really traditional, it's just a wedding dress. Or not a wedding dress, it's just a fancy dress. Although I guess it might have been traditional, I don't know. I saw the shot twice, but then the second time I didn't even pay that much attention anymore. she's like in normal, street clothes, and she's out there skipping ropes with her friends, and it doesn't fit with the whole narrative at all. It's just terrible movie. Because it just ends up like, oh yeah, but see, everything turned out fine in the end. Which obviously, do we want to see even more bad shit happening to her at the end of the movie? I don't know. Probably not, but it paints a completely unrealistic picture of just, oh yeah, you can escape this shit anytime you want. It's your choice. Sadly, doesn't always work like that.
So there's also a lot of social commentary laced throughout the movie, which I thought was pretty good.
I didn't.
So the
Okay.
first time we see someone dancing, it is an 11-year-old girl, but it's shot so that we, I think, are supposed to not know if it's a woman or a young girl. And
I
I mean, that alone just raises
don't
interesting
know.
questions. I think the whole thing, the title, Cuties, and I don't speak French well enough to know how accurate that is. Um, it's
It's
great
pretty accurate.
title because we already sexualize children. When we tell a child that they're cute,
What?
we are telling them that they're attractive.
No.
And
Oh my. Oh. Okay. Sure. You know that hamster Floof posted earlier where I said it was cute? Yeah, I want to fuck that. That's exactly what I meant when I said that. Oh my god. All right.
attractiveness is only one thing. It's sex.
No.
Attractiveness leads to.
Shut the. Oh yeah, no. See, cute. Where's my dick in it?
Sex. And
That's a clip.
and it's all like connected. Like you have sex, and then a cute baby comes out, and then the cute baby grows up to become a cute adult, and then the cute adult has sex. So
What?
we're already constantly telling little girls, especially little girls, how pretty and how cute they are.
Well, yeah, because that's usually what happens when you have a child. You think they're pretty and you think they're cute. Like, when you're an 8-year-old girl and your dad tells you that you're cute and pretty, does that mean he wants to fuck you? Like, what? Where's the connection here? If you can't differentiate between these two, yeah, maybe you're the problem, man.
And this film kind of asks you, well, taking that to its logical extreme,
No.
here's what it is.
No.
It's like the ultimate in cuteness. I mean, I was gonna say as long as you stop before porn or child porn, but I don't think I've never seen child porn, but I don't,
Really?
I haven't. But I think that it's probably not
I don't believe
cute.
you.
I think that there's often or probably always a terrifying awareness, and I imagine the child is traumatized and completely checked out, and not in any sort of position of agency or power to be considered cute. So this might be, I don't know, this might be it. This might be the apex of the latent, unspoken, unidentified things you are telling your child when you say, "Oh, you're so pretty. Look how beautiful you are. Try this outfit on. Look at your little tiara." If you take
Just 1 second. All right, sorry about that. I'm back. For the last couple minutes. Let's finish this so I can
strip away
lay my
all
soul
the
to rest.
cushioning of that, and you look at what it is. You're objectifying your child, and so this is that kind of laid bare, and
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what's happening. When I call my kid cute, I'm objectifying them. And literally, from the day they're born, we're turning our children into sex objects. And that's a good thing. Apparently, I guess. I don't fucking know.
it's an interesting critique.
It's not.
It's not. The movie's not critiquing child stripper dance competitions.
Yeah, that's right.
Critiquing the way you look at and talk to and think about children, and it's
No. No. Wrong. That's not what it is doing. I don't understand how people like this will come out and claim this kind of shit when clearly even the writer or director of the movie said that this is what this is supposed to be. What's this about an Avatar thingy? You'll have to ask C10. I don't know about that. He said he had an idea for a picture, but he needed to know what your avatar would be.
It's not even telling you to change it necessarily, but just to be aware of it and the effects that it can have, which I thought was pretty cool. I think there's some good stuff in the movie about, and this is kind of obvious from the trailer, but how the grass is always greener on the other side. That as a repressed Muslim, you might think that there's all this freedom in dancing slutty, but so I think the message.
That's a fair point that he's making. The problem is the movie doesn't really explore that.
Is that it's horrible to be a woman in any culture, and that you kind of have to find your own way. That said, the movie is also clearly saying it is much, much, much worse to be a Muslim woman than it is to not be anything else, basically. But
first of all, the fact that the movie doesn't say it's horrible to be a woman of any culture. That's really not the point. But then what also isn't the point, I don't fucking... Does he even have a point? I think this is just rambling.
The movie shows us that women are repressed in different ways in different societies. But I think
fair enough.
At the end, it's but it's just go be a normal French person. You don't have to be a naked dancing 11-year-old girl. And one way that women are oppressed in basically every society is that there's no room for their sexuality. I mean, even just looking at the way people are talking about the Wet Ass Pussy song.
Yeah, because it's frivolous and gross. It's the same exact thing with when guys fucking parade their dicks around. It's yeah, cool, man. Great, you get laid. That's not the point of the conversation. The Wet Ass Pussy song? Yeah, that's I think Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. It's where the whole Ben Shapiro doesn't satisfy his wife properly meme comes from. But it's the difference is, see, the Wet Ass Pussy song is deliberately being sexual. The difference here is that, number one, it's women and not girls. It is grown women who can, like it or not, show their bodies off as much as they want to. But also, the point is of the song and the video is sex. But again, these are adults we're talking about, not children. And to say that there is some kind of connection here because of, I don't know, how women aren't allowed to show their sexuality, isn't that literally what most women do anyway? Okay, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. But there's a lot of women who just act like whores and then get pissed at the fact when you call them out on the fact that they're whores because they behave like them. Like, again, it's this case of where, people want to have their cake and eat it too. It doesn't work that way. And you can't compare the two, again, because one is a music video with women who are way beyond the age of, age of consent. I don't know a better term. And on the other hand, you have something that is clearly not supposed to be happening, but the movie is showing it. I mean, again, I'm sure it does happen in the real world. Plenty of times, too. But the movie doesn't really do a good job at putting it in a light where it seems like this is bad. Like, it doesn't. And again, 11-year-olds don't need to fuck. Nature doesn't need that. Nature doesn't want that, so why should anyone want that? Not even the 11-year-olds themselves want it. When I was 11, if anyone said something like dick or pussy, I would laugh. Or titties, even. And now look at me. Love them. Well, not the dicks, but I mean, maybe if they're part of chicks. I mean, what? Nothing. Let's keep going.
No matter what you do, if you're a woman and you are openly sexual, a large number of people are going to flip out and not exactly be able to articulate why. And I wonder.
No, I can articulate to you why. Because acting like a whore is not attractive. That's just acting like a whore. And that it doesn't matter if it's men or women that are doing this. It isn't attractive and it isn't interesting. It doesn't make you an interesting person if you fuck a lot. Or if you're horny a lot. Even when I do it, as many times as I do it, even then it's cringe. But it's like, yeah, I guess I still do it. And if someone's gonna criticize me for that, then that's their right. Just don't fuck. That's not even the point. You can fuck. But that's not something you need to parade around, And that's exactly the issue here, is that it is being paraded around, and then there's always this, like, surprise at the backlash when somebody tells you that, yeah, you have no personality outside of dick or pussy. And I mean, that's true. And that, again, that it doesn't matter. That's at least what I'm saying. I know people are different and people have a different perspective on things in life. And some people will say that, oh, well, it's fine if men do it because they have a much harder time actually getting sex than women really do. And, statistically, that's probably true. But it's still, it still doesn't make anyone an interesting person if all that is on their mind is fucking. If it's jokey, again, it doesn't matter. Jokes are exempt from the statement, but it's just, yeah, don't be a whore of either gender.
If that's even part of the backlash to this movie. Now, I guess if it were young boys dancing provocatively, people would probably still be pretty upset.
Yeah, maybe not though. That's another thing. If it was boys, there's probably plenty of people who would still be upset. I would still be upset, but believe me, a lot of people would not even care. And that's what I was going to say. Maybe just don't have kids dance sexually. Maybe, just don't do that.
Maybe not as upset. But anyway, in the movie, it's interesting that she's not even allowed to have her midriff showing around her parents. She hides under a bed.
Oh, yeah.
When her shirt's tied up. And she can't untie it in time. And then, but at school, she is called a slut because she posts a picture of her vagina on Instagram.
Yeah, because that's what a slut would do. Because you don't do that. Because that's not the point of the app or any app. I mean, there's plenty of apps where you can do that, but again, if you're using something like that, then again, this is taken out the idea that you're sending nudes to your significant other or to whoever you're dating. Obviously. If you're being sexual with your partner, that doesn't make you a whore. But to post a picture of your dick or titties or pussy on Instagram for anyone to see, yeah, that's what a slut would do. Regardless of whether it's a child in this movie, how does that even... In this universe of the movie, how is that even allowed? Because that should be taken off by the Instagram people. Because it would technically count as child pornography. But not even technically, it would.
Which I had this like kind of defensive reaction as I was saying this. Like whoever you are watching this, you're gonna be like, "Well, of course she did," but like, why?
Because it's something a slut would do.
I've posted pictures of my dick all over the place. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a slut.
Well, number one, where did you post it? Number two, you are a slut. It doesn't... I can feel like the king of China. That doesn't mean I am the king of China. What I feel is different from what I do. But okay.
And if I did, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. I guess it has more of a negative connotation to it. But
not the best thing you could be.
Still, it's just interesting that like we're more okay with an 11-year-old girl doing drugs or stealing or
no
hurting somebody than we are with her taking a picture of her vagina and posting it on the internet, which
we're not okay with any of those things. But the playing field is completely different again. Pretty sure all of those are illegal. Yeah, I'm not okay with people stealing and hurting others regardless of their age. But again, there's a difference, and there's a reason why there's a difference between sexualizing an adult and sexualizing a child. Because that shit's not legal. Number one, that shit never should be legal, and hopefully never will be. And is just plain wrong. But I guess that's, I don't know. Maybe I'm too old to understand. Maybe this is like, call me old-fashioned, but I don't need to see children naked. I really don't. Is all I can say to that. Or even half naked. And especially not, like, dancing provocatively. Jesus.
Could lead to something harmful, but in and of itself...
It will lead to something harmful.
Anything too bad to anybody, I guess it's embarrassing. But why? And it just shows you the repression and what it must be like to be aware that you're turning into a forbidden, dirty, disgusting, hated, awful creature as you're a girl going through puberty.
Sure, that's not just you, dude.
And there's nobody there to make room for that. There are people to take advantage of it, or there's people to shame you and be disgusted by it. But
yeah, that's the only two. There's no more. No one who supports you. No one who's there for you. Like someone who who created you. That's nobody like that exists. It's only terrible. Life can only be horrible. Always. Never anything good can happen. You can never have anyone support you in any matter. We did it, boys. We did it. We solved all of the problems. There is no black and white. There is no gray. There is only black. There is never anything good. It's over with. We got bodied. We got destroyed. Only darkness within darkness. And no one to fill our dark souls with light.
Through the whole movie, there's no mentor. The best she gets at the end is from her mother, basically just saying like,
yeah, maybe that's the problem. Maybe the fact that she doesn't have a mentor or anyone to guide her to the right path. Maybe that's the issue. Huh. It's almost like you could make a movie out of that. Like how neglecting your children can lead to bad things. Wow. That sounds like we could make a movie out of that. Jim, what do you got? I got 11-year-old girls twerking. Susan, print it. Print it, sell it. I want it gone by Monday. Billions of dollars. Trillions of dollars. The daily life of a Netflix executive.
I'll just stay out of it. That's and I won't kick you out of our house. That's the best you're gonna get. So if I had one criticism about this movie, it would be that it should have been a documentary. I think you can find girls who are dancing.
That actually not a bad idea. However, that would require that's not really possible because you can't go into like some fucking like some dude's like backyard shed and question the 10-year-olds chained up in there. Yeah, how do you feel today? Have you had breakfast yet? Would you like to go out for McDonald's and talk about your experiences with what's that Needle Dick Joey, the 52-year-old man from next door? Like, you can't do that. Obviously, it would be better as a documentary, yes, but it's not possible, really. You can't really do that.
Something like this, and even in competitions.
Oh boy,
or something close to it. And I think it would have been less exploitative and more powerful to show. And I mean, obviously, it'd be a lot more work to try to gain access to families like this. But if you can show that conflict and
so your girl was violated by your 10-year-old daughter was violated by the 60-year-old man next door. How did that make you feel? Explain in detail, please. Yeah, that's gonna work out. Could have done a documentary on grow up beauty pageant stars. Thank you. Thank you. We could have had, an actual point, a movie, a documentary showing something that is real. Because you have to remember, this is not a documentary. This isn't these girls doing this and then there being like any kind of bad air around this. This is just happening. One moment. Man, I love it when the FBI knocks on my door. It's okay.
Show this transformation. You could say most of the things this movie says, I think almost better, and in a way that would actually be more ethical if it were real, which is usually probably not the case with movies.
I don't know. Okay.
And I think it would have been more powerful because it's like, anything I got from it, a lot of it is things I already think. So it kind of helped me ruminate on beliefs I already have. But, if you're probably more conservative and you go through life thinking, no, girls are not sexual. Girls are cute. And then when they turn 18, then they become sexy or whatever.
I mean, listen, call me a conservative, but I do actually believe that is the case. Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
I don't know, whatever bullshit you tell yourself.
Not wanting to fuck girls is conservative. There you go. We've done it, folks. We've found the secret formula. God in heaven. What have we done to deserve this?
I could see how I'm empathizing with you. I can see how you would view this as just like, no, why are you making kids sexy? That's weird.
Yeah.
This is just your sick fantasy. This isn't real.
Yes.
And if it is real, it shouldn't be. You
yes.
shouldn't be doing this, and you're part of it. Whereas if it were a documentary, it might be more powerful in illuminating something that's already happening without.
Yeah, maybe, but you can't do that.
Of creating it or encouraging it.
Yeah, but you can't do that.
I probably would have rather seen that, but it's a good movie.
No.
Pushes boundaries. Made me uncomfortable.
Yes.
Which is not that hard to do, but appreciated when it's done in an intelligent and interesting way. And I guess that's pretty much it. It's nice to see a kindred spirit out there poking the bear, asking tough questions, and making people feel sexually weird. And I'm excited to see what she comes up with next. And thanks for watching.
Probably a prison escape plan, I would assume. Okay, wow. I've gone over everything I could have gone over throughout the video. That was terrible. Worse than the review that I saw. I still can't believe it's real. Can't believe it's not butter. Anywho, I will have to say goodbye to you guys now. Please try to forget that this ever happened. And I will be here probably next Friday. Anyways, I think Bulbasaur is cute. I'm gonna have to stick my dick in it, apparently. Yeah, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the Spyro part. That one was pretty good. And I will see you guys all next week. Stay safe and goodbye. And for the love of God, don't say anything is cute. Don't fuck the hamster. Don't do it.